Tony Dungy certainly knows his way to Raymond James Stadium. But tonight he came in through the visitors' entrance for the first time. And Tony's down the field with Lisa Guerrero. Lisa.
After a very warm reception from Bucs fans, I'm going to ask Tony Dungy to do something that is nearly impossible for him. Coach, I'm going to ask you to put aside your coach's hat for just a minute. As a human being, this has got to be an emotional meeting for you to stand across the field from players to this day that still love and admire you very much.
It is, and it was, it was special in the warm-ups to see guys that you went to war with for 6 years. So it's been great, and it's going to be a good game.
The Bucs have the #1 defense in the league, one that you helped to create. What did you tell Peyton Manning about the key to this defense?
Well, we just have to be patient. We've got to be two-dimensional and make sure they have to honor the run and the pass, and we got to protect the football. They thrive on turnovers. We've got to take care of it.
Today is your 48th birthday. Do you have a birthday wish for us?
Yeah, 5-0 would be great. That'd be the best present I could get.
I had a feeling you'd say that, Coach. Good luck to you tonight.
Thanks, Lisa.
Al, back up to you.
All right, thank you, Lisa. And the Bucs will try to blow out the candles. Eric Dungy, Tony's son, one of 2 sons, and the Dungy family, and there is the other son, James. The family has remained here in Tampa, and the kids are going to school here in Tampa. And Tony will make this his home at the end of his career. He loves it down here. But right now, he loves Indianapolis a little bit better. Aaron Stecker, Thomas Jones are back to take in the kickoff with Stecker at the goal line. And again, you have to do it every time you do a Bucs game. Never in the history of this franchise has a kick been run back for a touchdown. And they played their first game in 1976. One of these nights, Mike Vanderjagt, the kickoff for Indy, and here we go. Juggled at the 3-yard line by Stecker. Up through the 20, the 25, and then taken down at the 29-yard line. And with Allstott at fullback, he's a pretty fascinating story because earlier today he was in Pittsburgh being examined by a neck specialist, and he blocks for Pittman, who takes the 30, and that specialist allowed Allstott to fly back and play. When we talked to John Gruden, the Tampa coach, yesterday, he thought the chances of Allstott playing were minimal, and here they go with a no-huddle to start the game.
Yeah, he said that the problem was he can't move his neck backwards. He said he could move forward, but he couldn't move the neck backwards, so they sent him to the specialist from Pittsburgh.
And they hit Allstott. So here comes Mike, right from the specialist, right from a round-trip flight to Pennsylvania, and he's taken down by Raheem Brock, close to a first down.
Yeah, he just runs that angle route. You'll see him. He starts over here to the right of the picture. Then he comes back in right in the middle. That's one of the passes that they use to the fullback against that cover 2, to hit that middle. Let that Mike run out of there and bring that fullback in behind him on an angle route.
Tampa Bay facing in Indy the kind of defense they face every day in practice. Now Allstott is the tailback, and Mike is close but appears to be shy of the first down. 3rd and 1. And they're going to measure, and Mike Allstott just does have the first down, so signaled by Johnny Greer.
Yeah, we were talking about Mike Allstott and going to a specialist this morning in Pittsburgh. The other guy, Mike Pittman, who's starting at tailback. Yesterday we went there, and John Gruden said he's in the hospital today. He was in the hospital all day yesterday, last night, and didn't get out of the hospital until this morning. That's their starting backfield.
And there he is right now, 32 Pittman, the former Arizona Cardinal, who had a huge game in San Diego in the Super Bowl. First down at the 39-yard line on the game's opening drive, and Pittman behind an Allstott block, tucks it inside, picks up 5. David Thornton, the outside linebacker, 4th-round pick last year out of North Carolina, and a guy they really like who takes the place of the departed Mike Peterson, an outside backer.
Yeah, and you say that, this Colt defense is a lot like the Tampa Bay defense, and who is he in the Colt defense? He's Brooks. He's Derek Brooks.
Now on 2nd and 6. Again, no huddle. They spread it out, left an empty backfield, then reset. And Johnson throws, hits Pittman. And Pittman is taken down at the 46-yard line. Pressure that time put on by Monte Rager, forcing the quick pass by Johnson, and it's 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, and then you say, who's Monte Rager? Well, he's the Warren Sapp, and he's right here, and you're going to see him just coming. You see right here he is. and he just comes straight up the middle, and he hits Brad Johnson just as he throws the ball.
3rd down and 3 now from the 46-yard line. Johnson, good protection, throws, and then it is dropped. Would have been a first down. Ken Dilger, the tight end, and a long-time Colt who came here last year, and it's 4th down. Mike Doss with the coverage.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking to Tony Dungy about his 2nd year and the Colts' 2nd year in this defense, and he says the more you get to know the defense, the better you get to know the defense, the faster you can play it. And you look at this no huddle that Tampa Bay is giving them, they're making them play fast defense.
They picked up 1 first down. Now Tom Tupa to punt to Brad Pyatt, a rookie from northern Colorado who's been a nice find for Indianapolis. He's done a great job through the first quarter of the season. And Pyatt lets that one bounce at the 1, and it skips into the end zone. And Peyton Manning, who threw 6 touchdown passes last Sunday night at New Orleans, will take over at the 20, 3 minutes, 16 seconds into the game. First offensive play for the Colts. And Peyton Manning, as he is prone to do, either checking off or audibling or dummy audibling. And they give the ball to Ricky Williams, otherwise known as the other Ricky Williams. So a little mirror image action of sorts as the Colts go without a huddle, as did the Bucs on their opening drive. 2nd down and 8. Manning throws, caught by Harrison, and he's blanketed there at the 25 by Kelly. And 3rd down and 5 at the 25-yard line.
See what they did? They brought Ronde Barber in like he was going to blitz the audible, then he came out of it.
And there's enough pressure put on by those 4 guys, as there very often is, especially by Sapp and McFarland through the middle, that it's 3 and out for Manning on the opening drive.
Anytime you go 3 wide receivers, or Ronde Barber plays a slot. Here's Ronde Barber in there. Now Peyton Manning sees him, thinks he's coming on a blitz, audibilizes to a play, then Ronde Barber jumps out and goes back into coverage, and they just have a 4-man rush.
Hunter Smith to punt. Carl Williams back to receive. High kick. About average distance and fielded by Williams, who doesn't make the fair catch and is able to hold on because Clifton Crosby is right there to knock him down at the 26-yard line. 10:06 left in the quarter. 0-0. There we are, being projected up on to one of the buildings downtown here in Tampa.
How do they do that?
Well, we'll explain later. I'm going to go to MIT overnight and try to figure this thing out. From the 26-yard line, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers begin their 2nd drive with a play-action pass. If Johnson can get it off, which he does. Hit him at 74 yards as he got by the secondary, and the Buccaneers take the lead.
Watch this. The key to this, Al, is the protection, because Brad Johnson goes play pass to watch him pump. Step, pump, 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 and finally get it off. When you give any quarterback that much time, then these receivers can do this thing that Keenan McCardell is. He stops the pass, but Brad Johnson has so much time back there, he finally sees him open and throws him a bomb.
And Rob Morris wound up in coverage, the middle linebacker, 94. A bizarre scene, chasing a wide out down the field. Now the extra point by Martin Gramatica. And there was a big enough buzz in this crowd. Now they're wild. Cannons booming. Spirals floating. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 7-0. Keenan McCardell, 2 touchdowns for him in the Super Bowl. That's the longest play of his career, much of which was spent with Jacksonville. On the other side from Jimmy Smith, and take a look at this coverage.
Well, it's going to be too deep. Now, the guys that have the deep are these 2 safeties. And we'll just watch him as they come deep. And then if we can stop it right here, you see, here's the two safeties here. They have deep. They both take bites, and that lets Rob Morris on Keenan McCardell. So it's not Rob Morris. It's right here. You see Mike Doss. He comes running up. And the closest guy to McCardell is Doss. There's Rob Morris.
Cover two covers none. And it's Hyatt taking the kick and then falling down and then getting up and out of bounds at the 27-yard line. And another look.
Well, on that cover two, those deep guys have to stay as deep as the deepest. But watch Brad Johnson look. He looks to the middle. He looks to the right. He comes back to the middle. He says, wow, look what I just found.
And he's hit as he throws. You know, John, last year he did not complete, Brad Johnson, in the entire season, a single pass that traveled in the air more than 30 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. That one traveled 43, and he's already thrown 2 such passes this season.
And that wasn't meant to travel that far, though.
No. First and 10 from the 26, and now Manning on a screen to Ricky Williams, and Brooks hits him first, and then 3 other red shirts come in.
You know, everyone says they want to play this Tampa defense, this Tampa 2, this gap defense, but if you're going to do it, you better bring this speed and you better bring these guys. And this is why Derek Brooks is the MVP on defense. You just watch him. He moves here. He starts to the right, boom, goes back to the left, and then when he gets there, that's the end of the play.
2nd and 5 at the 31. Williams again. Ricky Williams, of course, not the real Ricky Williams, the major Ricky Williams, played with New Orleans and now plays with Miami, of course, and led the league in rushing last year. This Ricky Williams, interestingly, started with New Orleans as a free agent, then came to Indy, and now with James Hurt, we're going to see him, and we're going to also see Dominic Rhodes and James Monroe, what Peyton Manning calls my little committee of running backs.
Right, and Ricky Williams is the best receiver and outside runner of that little committee.
1st and 10 from the 36-yard line, and here he takes in a pass. He scored a touchdown last week at New Orleans on a similar-looking play, but in the red zone, and this time he picks up about 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6. Peyton Manning, who has not missed a start since he was the #1 draft choice, not only of the Colts, but of the entire league in 1998, comes off a tremendous performance last week. In fact, his pass rating was a perfect 158.3. And a little later, we'll show you how he got to that figure. 2nd down and 7 from the 41. And Williams gets stopped at the line of scrimmage by John Lynch, still hitting as hard as ever in his 11th year from Stanford.
You know, and that's the 8th man up. And what they try and do is they try and keep John Lynch back so that you can't see him. Here he is, and he's gonna come up later. You see, he stays back there like he's defending the defender. Now he starts up, and by the time the ball gets there, he's at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 7, and Tampa Bay takes a timeout. They were trying to get the right personnel on the field. 3rd and long. Halfway through the period, 7-0 Bucks. To frame pass rating, the average quarterback in the league this year has that pass rating, 77.5. At the moment, Peyton Manning leads the league, 103.7. That would be an A+. And the Buck defense, take a look at that. The opposition quarterbacks, 29.1 compositely against this defense. And there's a good part of the reason, Monty Kiffin.
Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator, and he's a guy that is always going to mix his defenses up, and he's been doing that tonight. Not a lot of blitz, though.
3rd and 7. Now a blitz. Manning gets leveled, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Harrison, and that was Nate Webster taking the place of the injured Shelton Quarles, the middle linebacker who has a fractured forearm but should play next week. Nate Webster.
And you see they brought Barber from the other side. He's going to be on the far right of the screen, Nate Webster. Here's Barber coming from this side, and you see they just want to twist. Barber comes to the inside, Nate Webster comes to the outside.
Hunter Smith, whose last punt was 49 yards. Flag is down. at the 18-yard line. Carl Williams to the 22 marker.
I think the Bucs had the 12 guys in the field.
They may have. The flags are down back at the 10-yard line. It was 4th down and 7.
And they had their punt return out there, and one guy was trying to get off, and he didn't get off the field in time. The ball was snapped before he got off.
That is it. But it's still not enough for a first down. Had it been 4th and 4, it would have been a first down. Now it's going to be 4th and 2 if they want a re-kick.
And here John Gruden said, he said, "Are you kidding me? What the heck are we doing?" Vince Lombardi, what the heck's going on out there? And you put your mouse sideways.
12 men on the receiving team will penalize 5 yards and re-kick.
Gruden tells you all you need to know without ever moving his mouth. Lisa, let's check in downstairs.
The Bucs left cornerback Brian Kelly has a strained left pectoral. His return is questionable. Meanwhile, number 31, Tim Wansley, will be his replacement now.
Wansley's normally the nickel back, so he's going to see a lot more action tonight. And Wansley also returns kicks from time to time. There he is, second-year man out of Georgia. But Kelly led the league in interceptions last season, so he would be a big loss for this #1 ranked defense.
And I was just going to say, Marvin Harrison always plays the right side, and that's the side that Kelly plays defensive corner. So Wansley will be playing against Marvin Harrison.
Now a boomer, which they let go into the end zone, and it'll come back out to the 20-yard line. 6:54 left in the opening quarter. The Buccaneers leading the Colts 7-0 in Tampa. From the 20-yard line now, first down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pittman is the I-back. He takes the ball, cuts to the outside, tries to get around Harper. Flag is thrown. For the moment, an 8-yard gain, but a penalty flag for holding to bring it back and make it first down and 20. Keyshawn Johnson mic'd up. Let's hear him.
All I know is my team is 8-3 on Monday night. I got pretty good. 8-3 on Monday night. I've gotten pretty good numbers, and every time I play against my competition head-to-head from the class of '96, I always dominate. Just remember that.
All right.
Hey. And I don't even run 4.3.
Well, a couple of things in play there. There's part of his class of '96. Keyshawn is actually 7-3 on Monday night, but maybe he's already put this one in the saddlebag. That would make him 8-3. And on first and 20, the pass is caught by Johnson, who was the #1 overall pick in the '96 draft. Marvin Harrison was a first-rounder, picked 19th overall. That's to whom he was referring.
Yeah, and there is something to that. You know, anytime a great running back plays against another great running back, it's a motivation. Or great quarterback, and this is a receiver. And then they kind of have that alumni thing. You know, we're from the same class, and I was drafted first, so I have to be better. And anytime I play him, I dominate him. I think he'll have a tough time tonight dominating Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison, 3 touchdowns last week. He's caught 1 ball for 3 yards tonight. And Johnson swings it to the outside, goes to Keyshawn. And he has a first down up at the 33-yard line, covered there by Will Harrison. So Keyshawn has now caught 2 balls for 23 yards. That's good for 15.
And that's the kind of receiver that John Gruden likes, and I think that Brad Johnson likes, is you just get the big receiver, he just runs up the field, you get the defensive back's shoulders turned, and the minute he turns those shoulders perpendicular, then you run your cut. You see, he turns perpendicular, he runs the cut, and Brad Johnson just puts it right there on him.
Keyshawn, #1 overall pick in the '96 of the Jets. Came here in 2000. First down and 10 now from the 33-yard line. Johnson steps up. A floater that just hangs in the air like a hanging curveball. And Mike Doss picks it up, and then he fumbles. And the Bucs have it. And McCardell is going to run to the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the game.
second, he thinks he throws an interception. The next second, they have a touchdown.
Floating pass that just hung in the wind like you hit it out of the ballpark, and Doss with the interception coughs it up, and McCardell has scored 12 points tonight. Gramatica. A 55-yard fumble return. 4:55 remaining in the opening quarter. A quarter that Doss would love to forget.
And that ball just took off on Brad Johnson. You're going to see Mike Doss. He's number 20 here. He's just reading, playing zone. The ball goes over the head of Dilger. Doss is there to catch it. And then it looks like as he's going down, he gets hit. He didn't get hit on the ball running, but he got hit. The ball just flopped out. And there's Keenan McCardell.
John Wade, the center, was the man who was ready to make the tackle. 76 right here.
John Wade comes across the body. Oh, he did punch it out. Look at that. He got his right hand in there and punched it out of Mike Doss's hand. That is a heads-up play by about 3 guys right there.
I mean, how often would a center practice punching the ball out of somebody's grasp?
That's just athletic awareness. I don't even think the center even thinks of those things, let alone practices them.
Ron Meeks, and that's the look of an exasperated defensive coordinator, who watched his team blow a coverage on McCardell's touchdown. And Doss is going to redeem himself with that. And the next thing you know, it's 14-0, and Tampa's kicking off again. Hyatt from the 2. Taken down up at the 24-yard line. Tackle made there by Tim Wansley.
You know, and it's still early, and that's what Peyton Manning has to be thinking now here. You know, that we talked about being one-dimensional, and you don't want this team to get ahead of you by a couple scores where you have to pass all the time, and it's too early for the Colts to have to get into that mode.
Flag at the 20. Johnny Greer.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 42 of the receiving team.
That's Detron Smith, their fullback and former Denver Broncos special team performer.
Brad Johnson's thinking, boy, did I come out lucky on that one, because watching baseball last night, they have a pitcher called a slurve, and I think Brad Johnson on that one to Ken Dilger, I think he threw a slurve. Mike Doss caught it. John Wade knocked it out of his hand. Those were a couple of great plays there.
Manning back up to his 12. And Manning slings it over the middle, and that's Reggie Wayne who makes the catch up at the 27-yard line. Rondy Barber with the tackle, and of course Marvin Harrison gets so much of the attention. 15-yard gain here, but Reggie Wayne is really coming along.
And that's what Peyton Manning feels so good about, because he knows he has Marvin Harrison out on the right side. And then when he can get Wayne on the left side, if they want to rotate, roll their coverage to Marvin Harrison, he always has the other side.
Wayne chosen in the first round by Indy in 2001. Flag at the snap. Rookie Williams, the ball carrier.
And I think that's another rookie, Dallas Clark.
Snap, ball start, number 44. Still first down.
That's what happens when you start rookies. You know, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but we saw Mike Doss. I mean, he's really given up. I mean, he's playing hard, but he's really given up 14 points tonight. They finally have to get something going, and then their other rookie starter, Dallas Clark, jumps offside.
They start 3 rookies. Steve Shulo is the other, and they've started every game since opening day. Shulo's job here is to block sack. He gets help. Manning throws up to the 30-yard line, and that is Dallas Clark, who is their #1 draft choice. 6'3" at about 260 out of Iowa.
You know, Tony Dungy was saying last night, and it's so true, that this is not a rookie-friendly offense. What they do is you see Peyton Manning up there at the line of scrimmage and doing all this audibilizing, calling plays, telling everyone what to do. In the huddle, he calls 3 plays. like a run right, a run left, and a pass. And then he looks at the defense, and then he makes the call of one of those 3 plays that he called in the huddle. So you say, why doesn't he just get up there and snap the ball? Because he's called 3 plays and he can't.
He has more latitude than anybody in the league. In fact, anybody I can remember since maybe Jim Kelly. 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line. Some of this could be dummy stuff. You never know.
Now, he called the play and then he changed it.
And there's Williams, hard-earned 4 up to the 34, setting up 3rd and 3 with under 3 minutes remaining in the period.
This is one of these things with Monty Kiffin on the other side. I'm sure that's what Keyshawn Johnson is talking about right now. Is they know what we're doing, we know what they're doing. They make a call, we make an adjustment. They make another call, we make another adjustment.
Every brain in the joint's going to be frazzled by the end of the game. 3rd and 3 from the 34. Caught in traffic and not enough for the first down. They bunched it to the right. Harrison is there, and Tim Wansley is able to knife in and stop him a yard shy of the first, and Hunter Smith will have to punt.
That was one of those things. They try and throw the screen out there, and again, this Tampa Bay defense has no guess. All 11 players, whoever they put on the field, has 2 things. One, they have speed, and they're good tacklers. Monty Kiffin there, he's something, isn't he? He gets so fired up, he makes Coffee nervous.
Smith, deep kick, fielded at the 10, Carl Williams. And another good special teams play. Williams brings it back to the 30. He's tackled there by Clifton Crosby. The Bucs had a miserable first 2 decades, and then Tony Dungy came to town, and he really resurrected things. Take a look at that. In their first 20 seasons, pre-Dungy, they went to the playoffs 3 times. And then in just 6 seasons, they go to the playoffs 4 times. So more in a 6-year span than they had in 20. And when he left here and he was fired, I mean, it's like moving out of a house, and he left everything in perfect order, and Gruden moved in and put the icing on the cake. From the 28-yard line. And it's dropped. Pittman, but no fumble. Play over. You see the umpire coming in, and when he points to the ground, that means the whistle had blown the play dead. No fumble, no replay, no nothing.
Tackled by number 75, Larry Triplett. Gain of 3.
Gain of
2nd and 7 at the 32.
Again, like you say, when the umpire comes in, now watch Pittman here. As he goes down, the ball comes out. The ground really caused that fumble, but the umpire is right there, and he's pointing to the ground and saying down, down, and then there's no review of that play.
Final minute of the opening period. 2nd down and 7. Johnson, who is 5 of 7, throws just short of the first. Then Dilger, with that second effort, comes very close to actually picking it up. I think they'll spot a little short. You know, we talked about it a lot during the Super Bowl, John, and clearly, you know, with Tony Dungy, it's such a bittersweet feeling. You come home, you know that was your team. They go to the Super Bowl, and then they win it.
Yeah, and you know, and he never did move out of here. You know, as you said, his family still lives here. His wife is here. Her kids are still going to school in Tampa Bay, and this is where he lives. I mean, these are his roots, and I don't know how he can do it. I mean, I talked to him last night and said, you know, how can you do it? I mean, the team that you coached, the team that you built, the stadium and everything, come back here, get on the other side, and have to look over at those guys and say, those were my guys, and now I'm playing against them.
Well, he's, you know, there's fire and ice. There was a headline in one of the papers today, and if Gruden's fire, I mean, Tony in a way is ice. He's it's not that he's dispassionate, but he's a thinker. He just tries to keep his emotions in check. He's almost never out of control. And in a way, I'm sure there was, you know, this thing in his heart about, you know, I worked with those guys. I got them all the way there. And he, in his own way, had to be very happy for a lot of the Bucs as Johnson sneaks for a first down.
Well, I'm sure he was, because those are still his guys, but it's not his team anymore. It's John Gruden's team. And as Warren Sapp was saying, Tony Dungy laid the foundation for everything we are now. And John Gruden just kind of brought the rest in.
And that's the end of the quarter. And Dungy's looking for a fresh start because Tampa Bay with a big period leading 14-0. And Monday Night Football from Tampa continues after this message and a word from our ABC station. Tampa, Florida. Al Michaels, John Madden, Lisa Guerrero. Monday Night Football from the Gulf Coast. 14-0 Tampa Bay. 1st and 10 for the Bucs as we start the second period from their 40-yard line. And Johnson to a wide open Keyshawn Johnson to the 35, and they're finding every hole in that Indy defense.
I'll tell you, maybe Keyshawn Johnson is going to dominate this game. But I'll tell you where it all starts. The Tampa Bay offensive line pass protection. They've given Brad Johnson great protection tonight. I mean, he's been able to stand back there, and if he can stand back there, you're playing zone. And he has this kind of time. Look at the pocket. He can just step up, pat the ball, look, and he sees Keyshawn deeper than the linebackers and in front of the secondary on that lane.
25-yard gain. 3 grabs tonight for Key. Pittman on the ground. Pittman for 7 behind a Jason Whittle block. The former Giant signed as a free agent.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you want to be like the Tampa Bay defense, then you have to have a Warren Sapp, you have to have a Simeon Rice, you have to have a Booger McFarland, you have to have a pass rush, and they're playing the same defense that Tampa does. It's Tony Dungy's defense, but they don't have the pass rush. They're not putting any heat at all so far on Brad Johnson.
Yeah, you need the players, and you need the execution. 2nd down and 2 from the 27-yard line. Pittman showing more change of direction than Ariana Huffington, breaking a tackle and picking up a 1st down.
And you know why? Because they have a 2-touchdown lead. Once John Gruden, with this defense, gets a 2-touchdown lead, he's going to change his play calling. He's going to run more. They're going to take more time off the clock. He's going to slow everything down. And then Michael Pittman can do these kinds of things with these kinds of moves. I'll tell you, this first half has been a long night for Mike Doss. Have you seen him so far? See him on that one?
Mike Doss, blown coverage on a McCardell touchdown, then a fumble which led to the other McCardell touchdown. 1st and 10, and they give the ball to Aaron Stecker. Stecker picks up a couple, and it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, we were talking to Brad Johnson about this, and one of the reasons, he's a heck of a quarterback. He's not going to have those big stats because his defense is so good. And as I was saying, when John Gruden gets a 2-touchdown lead, then he starts to play a different game. It's not conservative. It's just a different game. And there's more running. I mean, he's going to run the ball and continue to run the ball a lot more. Now, he'll still pass, and he'll still play-action pass, but he's going to run more than he would if the score were even.
Sapp probably thinking about getting in goal line. 2nd down and 8. Here's Dilger. And he takes it to the 8, and that's a 1st down. Marcus Washington and Doss in on the tackle, talking about Sapp. And if they get down to the 1 or 2, you probably see him in their last game 2 weeks ago. And here he comes. He scored the first touchdown of his career.
Yeah, he goes to one tight end, and Booger McFarland, the other defensive tackle, plays the other tight end.
Crowd loves it. They know it. Something they do a lot. Dungy started it.
Yeah, and, you know, as John Gruden says, that those guys are used to playing goal line on defense, and you have to stay low and get off from the ball, and that's what you have to do on goal line on offense.
That was the first touchdown reception of his career. He scored on defense prior to that. And here's Allstott. And how about this, when you think about it, John, Warren Sapp has more touchdowns this season than sacks.
Yeah, and he said you don't want that in your contract. He said you don't want to be a defensive tackle. Watch him here. I mean, he'll even block. He's going to come in here and cut Chad Bratsky here. The ball's going away, but you see how he gets low, cuts everything, doesn't let the pursuit come across.
Allstott and that Darian Barnes come in the game. Allstott, the tailback in this set. Allstott with the ball again. And Mike, who we mentioned before, who joined us late with a neck problem, flew to Pittsburgh this morning, came back, got cleared to play, and stopped at about the 3. Here he is maneuvering that neck.
that Rob Morris is going to take on the lead, and then Thornton is going to come in here to make the play. But that's what you have to do as a middle linebacker. Take on that lead blocker, and then David Thornton, number 50, could come in as a free hitter.
Third down and goal. And the Bucs will take a timeout their second. Tampa Bay after the timeout. John Gruden with the play call now on third down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Which becomes really a long yardage or passing situation. So where he had Booger McFarland, Warren Sapp in there, he's taken them out and put his wide receivers back in.
Keyshawn Johnson. Keenan McCardell, Carl Williams, Reggie Barlow. They're the wideouts, and Johnson with 4 to choose from picks Barlow. Touchdown. A flag is down.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 53 of the defense. After the touchdown. Will penalize on the kickoff.
Second personal foul born of frustration.
That's a protection. Here's Roman Olben here. Now watch, he just takes his man to the outside, pushes him to the outside, then Brad Johnson can step up, and he has that lane to find Barlow in, and the Bucs were in 4 wide receivers.
First touchdown catch of Barlow's career. Dramatica for the point after. Barlow's first catch of the year. Everything going Tampa Bay's way tonight. 21-0. Aerial coverage tonight provided by Saturn. Saturnize would be the perfect way to describe the mood in Indianapolis right now, with their Colts coming off their romp over New Orleans last week. Now trailed 21-0. Martin Dramatica to kick off. Brad Pyatt, the rookie from Northern Colorado, to run it back. 1-yard line. Pyatt gets taken down in the open field. A one-on-one tackle by Corey Ivy. And let's check in with Lisa.
Now, ever since the Super Bowl, folks have been asking if it's possible for this Bucs defense to get any better. Well, the Bucs defensive coordinator, Monty Kiffin, for one, says yes. On the very first day of training camp, he gathered the entire defense together, and he showed them a tape of 94 bad plays on defense. At first, Derek Brooks thought it was a joke, but then he laughed and he said, you know what? He's right. We can improve on defense, and now that's a scary thought for the rest of the league.
Well, they pitched a shutout on opening night against Philadelphia. They've allowed 1 touchdown so far this season with Dominic Rhodes in the backfield, and it's Rhodes to the 22. And the only touchdown the Bucs allowed this year was to Atlanta before the bye week, and the drive went 2 yards. Atlanta with a fumble return had it first and goal at the 2 and scored.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. I mean, and that's what the Colts had going. And when Mike Doss picked out that interception, then that gives them a turnover, and that would have given them pretty good field position. But then when he fumbles it, then the Buccaneers, again, they pick it up and take it in.
2nd and 8 now from the 17-yard line. Caught. Marcus Pollard breaks a tackle and picks up the first down. Take a look at the rankings for the Tampa Bay defense. And there they are, total yards first, pass yards first. Somehow 50s against the rush. Not sure what to make of that, but when you're first in total yardage and you're first in points means first in fewest points allowed.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they do so well. Again, it's because of their speed, and they tackle so well, and they have excellent players and excellent coaching. And the Tampa Bay defense is really the whole package.
1st and 10 now at the 30-yard line. Rhodes to nowhere. 2nd and 9.
Brought down by number 55, Derek Brooks.
And Derek Brooks, in fact, when Tony Dungy came here, he said, we're going to build this defense around you. And he's talking about Derek Brooks, number 55. And just watch his speed. I mean, he's right down the line. Then he feels that hole, squares his shoulder, turns up, and meets the ball carrier. I mean, he does everything just about perfect for a linebacker.
Defensive player of the year last year. Florida State. 2nd and 9. Out of the gun. Harrison. Puts his shoulder down, and Wansley and Ellis Wims converge on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and about 5.
I know what Keyshawn Johnson is saying right now. Oh, that's how he gets his plays. He gets his plays on a screen. He said, give me a screen. Marvin Harrison's caught 2 screens. Neither one of them have been for a 1st down.
3rd and 5. Manning is 8 of 10, but for only 53 yards. Sapp hits him as he throws, and the Bucs make the tackle shy of the 1st down as Wansley denies Dominic Rhodes, and it's 4th down and 1. Keyshawn mic'd up, and here's what he had to say earlier about Marvin Harrison.
That's how he get his catches, huh? And he the best receiver. And he the best receiver in the NFL. That's how he get his catches. That's how he get his catches. I don't even.
Well, at this point, Keyshawn can afford the gloat. Hunter Smith, punt fair caught by Carl Williams at the 14. With 6:43 remaining in the opening half. Tampa Bay 21, Indianapolis nothing. It's Keyshawn Johnson projected up on the building in downtown Tampa. And so far tonight, Keyshawn 3 catches for 48 yards. Cardell on the other side, 1 catch for 74 and a touchdown, and then a fumble return of 57 yards officially.
The Bucs have 2 tight ends in there now, and one is Kerry Jenkins, their backup guard.
From the 14-yard line, and that's a toss back to Aaron Stecker. And Stecker up to the 16-yard line, tackled there by Rob Morris.
John Gruden loves to play a lot of tight ends, and Ricky Dudley got hurt, so he said that kind of changes us. So now we're really a different offense. So now he has Sapp and McFarland and Jenkins and everyone. Well, watch what Pittman does on this. This is called their toss crack. And the Buccaneers run that better than anyone, where they bring a guy in. It was Michael Pittman that time, and he cracks, and then the ball goes to the outside.
2nd and 8. They pick up the blitz, and Johnson walks it, and that's McCardell along the sideline. And is he in? No, he's not. Head linesman said out of bounds.
I think when you talk to John Gruden about Brad Johnson, he just gets more confidence every time you talk to him. I think he first came here and said, I don't know exactly what I have. I had Rich Gannon, and he was able to run with the ball. Brad Johnson can't do that. Then he started to see how tough Brad Johnson was and all the other things he could do. Get rid of the ball quickly, don't take a sack. And each time I talk to John Gruden about Brad Johnson, he has more and more admiration.
Brad Johnson, a late bloomer. Didn't play very much the first part of his career. And now ending it with a flourish and maybe another Super Bowl run. A shovel to Stecker. He is shoveled over at the line of scrimmage.
Tackled by Monte Raider.
Brad Johnson, the kind of guy, when you look at his career played out in numbers, John, you wonder, why does a guy even stay in it? You're not going to get a chance. You never get to play with Minnesota. You think at some point the guy says, I'm just going to move on. I've got to become whatever I'm going to become.
Yeah, because he's a competitor and he loves to play. And if you think of all those places, he had a good year at Minnesota, a couple of good years. He had a good year at Washington. And then, of course, here he comes and wins the Super Bowl. So life isn't all bad for Brad Johnson.
Not now. Here's a flag on the kick by Tupa. Brad Pyatt gets taken down at the the 33-yard line by Jack Golden. Flag at the snap.
That's what we're talking about, how well this team tackles. And every guy and everything, their punt coverage, their kickoff coverage. I mean, that was a great open field tackle.
Penalty is on the Colts. And you know what this means?
Defense. That's an automatic first down.
That's exactly what it means. That's Detron Smith, who earlier had a personal foul penalty assessed against him. And now, because of the hold, despite the fact it was 4th down and 8, automatic first.
You're going to see him here. He's right on the center, and here's where the hold is going to come in. You see him? He's trying to get the center and the up back so that they can run a stunt in there. You see, he grabbed the up back so that the stunt could come past him. Watch him. He starts there. You see, and he grabs right there. He's grabbing that up back so he can't get to the inside. This is one of the things you see on defense, you know, where a guy will take one side and grab a guy so that the other guy can come on that twist stunt free.
Second big foul tonight against Smith. And now Tampa Bay with the ball again and a chance to run out a good part of the clock as Michael Pittman picks up 5. Take a look at Johnson. When he and Gruden, first got together, feeling each other out. Their first 7 games together, very ordinary. And then all of a sudden, 20 touchdowns and 3 interceptions over his last 9 games.
You know, and I think a lot of that, I remember the first part of the season, he was getting killed. I mean, they had no pass protection, and I said if they don't do a better job of protecting Brad Johnson, he's not going to last the season. And then the protection kind of settled down. He started 3-step route, get rid of the ball quicker, those kinds of things.
2nd and 5, and he gets banged to the turf again, that time by Dwight Freeney. When you look at Brad Johnson, here is a guy who gets hit about as much as any quarterback in the league, but rarely takes a sack, gets the ball away, almost never throws an interception, but gets contacted, if you want to put it in that manner, about a quarter of the time, which is a lot.
Well, remember at the end of the season, he missed some games at the end of the season, and then luckily for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got a bye because he had a broken back, and he had a fracture in his back at that time.
A couple of small broken bones, and they were wondering whether he could play in postseason. Flags are thrown. Jumping on the line. Pass from Cardell is incomplete. Chad Brasky came across the line. Was he induced is the question, and the answer is of his own volition.
I'll tell you one thing, that Brad Johnson hasn't been taking a lot of hits tonight. I think that with the running game going and the play-action pass, they've kept him relatively clean.
Offside. White tackle. Defense. First down.
We're talking about Johnson and how often he gets hit. 29 passes under pressure, meaning he was contacted as he gets the ball away, and only 1 sack, and that is the best such ratio in the league. And as we say, when you get hit once every 4 passes thrown, that's a lot. That's a very high ratio.
And that's one of the things that John Gruden loves about this guy is his ability to get the ball out of there, not take a sack.
Well, here's Pittman, and there's another flag.
Michael Pittman on the carry.
Well, in this drive, the Bucs have had 2 first downs by penalty.
It's a hold against Tampa. And Jim Nelson is down, the nickel linebacker for the Colts.
Holding. Number 76. Offense. Still first down.
John Wade, the center. Injury timeout here. 4:02 to the half. 21-0 Tampa Bay. He appeared to have been hit in the throat. Difficult. Take a look again. Very difficult to speculate exactly what this is.
Number 57 right here. You see, he makes the tackle, and then someone comes across him And just as he rolls, he just grabbed either his collarbone or right for his throat area. Here he is right here.
And reaching for his throat is Adam's apple. Training staff right there immediately, and then they'll take Jim Nelson back to the locker room, at least initially, and at least we'll be right on this and give a report as soon as we can. A little recap of what's taken place so far and all the highlights. Tampa Bay. This pass, 74 yards. Johnson and McCardell busted coverage. Then Mike Doss was able to pick one off for Indy, but by the time this play was over, a fumble. McCardell picks it up, and Keenan runs that one in for 57 yards. And then this Tampa Bay drive ends with Johnson's pass to Reggie Barlow, and it's 21-0 in favor of the world champions.
It's funny, McCardell had the first 2 touchdowns. One by getting past Mike Doss. He should have been back there as deep as the deepest. And the other one recovering the fumble of Mike Doss after the interception.
So Jim Nelson, you saw that right thumb go up. A good sign initially. Get the report as soon as we can. There is Keenan McCardell. Third player in a half century to score touchdowns on a pass reception and a return of an opponent's fumble. So something that happens about once every 17 years.
You know, that's the thing with these games in the NFL, and like I say, never figure league, but where do you put those things? And where do you put, well, a guy's going to get an interception, then he's going to fumble it, then the other guy's going to pick it in and pick it up and run for a touchdown.
That's why I laugh like crazy. I'm reading volumes of stuff about this offense against that defense. You know, and how do you're right, how do you figure that? You can't. This is Ken Gilder. Close to a first down. Or actually close to the original line of scrimmage. It was 1st and 20 because of the penalty.
These are the things that John Gruden does so well. You know, his mixture. I mean, he never gets away from the run, and he always has a different package. I mean, he's going to give you 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, two wide receivers, 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers. One of the touchdowns tonight. There's always a different set of people.
2nd and 10. Brad Johnson to Pittman. And it will be 3rd and 3. Pittman up to the 38-yard line, and the clock ticking down to the 3-minute mark.
I think if you look at Brad Johnson's distribution in this first half, he's hit 7 different receivers. And he's not going to zero in on one guy. He's going to go back. He's going to read it. He's going to go through his progression, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and that ball's going to be out of there.
7 different receivers with 12 completions. McCardell's caught 1. Johnson's caught 3. Dilger's scored 3. Pittman a pair. And that's a fade. And the flag is thrown as McCardell is going to contend that he was held by Nick Harper.
That was one of the things we were talking about, Brad Johnson, and how he can just get rid of the ball and not take a sack. That was close to a sack. And he knew where he had McCardell and where he could throw it away.
Number 25, defense. First down.
That is Harper. 3rd first down by penalty on this drive alone.
And here's Nick Harper right here. He plays the slot on nickel. And you can see him right there. He just grabs McCardell right by with his right hand right at the neck. Again, that was one that Brad Johnson was getting hit. He saw McCardell was in the slot, and he was running an out and up. And he just threw it out there.
1st and 10. Johnson. Guess what? You saw it, the yellow. Looks like a hold on John Wade this time of Tampa Bay.
You see what they did? They put Kerry Jenkins in there, the backup guard at tight end again, and you're going to go maximum protection. You know, talking to John Gruden, you know, asked him where he got that bunch and some of the things he did, and he said a lot of it from the old Washington Redskins when Joe Gibbs was the coach, and that's the type of thing that Joe Gibbs would do.
Offense. Go first in.
He'll put another guard in as a tight end, go maximum protection. The holding was on the center, John Wade, and then just work one guy or one area or one side of the field. And funny how you go back, you know, it wasn't something he picked up last week or last year. It's something he picked up years ago from Joe Gibbs' Washington Redskins.
First down and 20 from the 33-yard line. And there's Pittman dancing through the defensive line behind a Wade block, and we come to the 2-minute warning. Tampa Bay leading Indianapolis 21-0.
Well, do the Gramatica brothers play anything, or they just sing, I think, don't they?
I haven't seen it yet. I think they're just singing. But we could, who knows?
And Kyle Turley's playing the guitar.
He's playing the guitar. On 2nd and 10, the ball is loose, and it's a forward pass incomplete as Johnson got spun down after another flag. I saw Brad Johnson come in and say, "What are you talking about?"
There is no infraction for Browning on the play. There was an eligible receiver in the area.
Okay, so the flag was thrown as if there was an ineligible receiver, and there wasn't.
And that's why Brad Johnson came flying in there, too, because he was going to point to who he was throwing to. You see, and here's Pittman right here. So he knows that he has a guy there, and I'm not sure where the eligible guy he's throwing it to is. I guess it had to be Dilger on that left side.
3rd down and 10 from the 43-yard line. Fake to McCardell, set up the screen to Pittman. Pittman to the 48-yard line, short of the first. They'll kick. Harper makes the tackle. Indianapolis will take a timeout to conserve some clock and get the ball back. And Gruden said, "Ah, man, I just needed one more first down." The wild and crazy Gramaticas.
Jumping all over the place.
Tupa's kick is, oh, look at that, right on its point. Unbelievable. Look, unbelievable English, and then it just rolls on its point.
That's like something like Phil Mickelson would do with a wedge. Look at that, right on his point, like you say, and then flat. And Wansley came very close to stepping on that goal line, but he didn't.
Ooh. Great play by Wansley.
Yeah, right. He felt it, too. He got very close. And like, you're getting hot, you better get off hot. Right there, boom, boom. Touch it.
Now Indy has to guard against the safety. All of a sudden, what they hoped would be a last-minute drive. They need some breathing room to begin with. James Mungrove is the running back, and Tampa Bay can smell two. But Mungrove gives them some breathing room as he takes it out to the 6-yard line, tackled by Lynch.
Number 23, James Munro.
2nd down.
Tackled by number 91.
Tampa Bay only has one timeout, so I know that they would like to take that. I mean, they would like to get the ball back here if they can stop them on this 2nd and 3rd down. They will use that one timeout.
And Indy couldn't afford to take a timeout there. They've got to get a first down, and they do now, as Harrison makes the catch, and now they can think about start taking a timeout. And here comes Peyton to say, all right, let's take it right now. So they have one remaining.
The Tampa Bay defense has done their job in this first half. Look at the Indy drives. The first one was 3 out and punt, 5 plays and punt, 4 plays and punt, 5 plays and punt, and now it's this drive. So you say, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? They haven't done anything.
They're trying to go 99 yards for a touchdown. The longest touchdown drive given up by Tampa this year, 2 yards. It's the only touchdown they've given up. First and 10, Manning has to throw off balance, and the pass is incomplete because Anthony McFarland got into Peyton's face.
That's the thing that they have. You know, you always talk about Warren Sapp and what a good player he is at that defensive tackle. Well, Booger McFarland is pretty good, too. You know, and they get you here with Booger McFarland, they get you here with Sapp, and they just want to press you straight up the middle. And if you turn on those guys, they'll just take that shoulder and run right through it.
Second down and 10 from the 16-yard line. And that is dropped by Troy Walters. You know, John, the way the Colts play, in a game like last week, they can look so great, but when they look bad, they look horrible.
Yeah, and when you get behind by 21 against Tampa Bay, you're going to look even more horrible than horrible, or whatever the next word is after horrible. Because these guys put it on you when they get ahead, and you have to play uphill. This is the best defensive football ever in this situation.
Third down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Pressure, swing it out, caught by Dallas Clark. And he runs into half the defense.
That's the thing, we talk about how well this defense tackles, but the other thing they do is they pursue well to get them. You see, there's like, when they throw out their Dallas Clark, and there's about 5 Buck jerseys right there on them.
And now Tampa Bay can take the timeout.
You know, in any sport, you have to be strong up the middle. And if you look at Tampa Bay defense, they start here with McFarland and Sapp. And then you go, the second line is Brooks. And then the third line, straight up the middle, is John Lynch. Now, when you have that, that's your core. Straight up the middle and your strength. And then you can get Simeon Rice and Spires on the outside. You get Rondé Barber. I mean, other things come, but the core is right here, straight up the middle.
Catcher, pitcher, shortstop, second base, center field.
Yep, it's probably the same thing in basketball, the center, the point guard, whatever. And this is the real strength of this defense. It all emulates from there.
Hunter Smith to punt. Fielded 34-yard line. Carl Williams, and he gets tackled up at the 42. 26 seconds remaining. Tampa Bay does not have a timeout as they'll try to at least move the ball into field goal range.
We talk about John Gruden slowing the game down, but he's also going to keep after you. I mean, he's also going to want to score. It's not the type of thing where he's going to say, okay, we're ahead 21-0. Now let's, go in and, and have some drinks and stuff. I mean, we're still going to take some more shots at you before this half's over.
No spiked Gatorade at halftime. 43-yard line.
No clap play.
Worth a round of applause as Ken Dilger makes the catch. 43. Now Johnson will come up, most likely spike it. Does. The 43-yard line. So now you need, in effect, one play, get out of bounds if you can, and bring in Gramatica because you don't have a timeout.
Yeah, and you need about the same distance you got on that last play. Now, remember the 49er play a couple weeks ago? A guy can get, well, they don't have any timeout, so that doesn't play at all. I was going to say you can give yourself up and take a timeout, but Tampa Bay doesn't have any timeout. So like you say, they have to get the ball out of bounds, or they have to get up and try and complete it and then get up and spike it again.
Real quickly. Second down and 10. 11 seconds from the 42. Johnson looking to the sideline. Going deep down the left sideline. Tipped, and that's incomplete.
Johnson's pass intended for Keyshawn Johnson.
So one play remaining, and they're going to send Gramatica out.
Backs have to pass protect too. Watch what Michael Pittman does here. You want to help your tackle, you want to chip. That's about a triple dipper chip.
This will be a 60-yard attempt for Martin Gramatica. NFL record 63, Jason Elam and Tom Dempsey. This would be a club record. It will also be one of the most amazing celebrations of all time, I guarantee you. 60 yards away. And the kick is just short. On target, but a little short. But Martine's going to come along at the half along with Santana. Lexus halftime show coming your way Monday night at the Mike. 21-0 Bucks at the half, and back we come after this message from the NFL and a word from our ABC stations. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers dominating the first half. Al Michaels, John Madden, and Lisa Guerrero back to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. 21-0. Tina McCardell, 2 touchdowns. Reggie Barlow the other. For Manning, meanwhile, coming off that 6-touchdown performance. 8 nights later, he has thrown for only 66 yards. Each team with 1 turnover. That Colt turnover was disastrous because that was the Mike Doss fumble after the Bucks had turned the ball over, so it came on the same play. Doss intercepted, fumbled, and then it was run in by McCardell. Keyshawn Johnson, meanwhile, decent half, 3 catches, 48 yards, and Gramatica to kick off to begin the 3rd period. Short kick, fielded at the 15 and then knocked down and picked back up by James Munro, the up back, and to the 28 he goes. And let's check in with Lisa.
Al, I talked to a calm but adamant Tony Dungy at halftime. He told me, look, we couldn't have played much worse. Too many penalties, too many fumbles. We have got to control this game. We're going to try and remain 2-dimensional, but obviously that was tough for them in the first half. He said we've got to stop doing the dumb things that we normally don't do. Finally, when I asked him if the absence of Edgerrin James had anything to do with the lack of production in the first half, he said absolutely not.
Well, Edgerrin James gone, but no production from the ground game with the little committee, as Manning calls them, and they begin with a slant to Marvin Harrison, who gets up to the 37-yard line.
You know, you look at those halftime stats, Al, and you wonder, are we seeing bad offense by the Colts, or are we seeing great defense by the Bucs? And I think it's a combination of both. I mean, the Colts aren't playing great on offense, but the Bucs are playing great on defense.
And the Colts hurting themselves with penalties, 47 yards in penalties in the opening half. Now a draw, and Ricky Williams takes off, and that'll give Indianapolis a spark as he gets to the Tampa Bay 45-yard line. Barber and Webster stop him after a gain of 19.
You know what they did? They read Simeon Rice, and when you get that draw, you read the end man in the line of scrimmage. Now watch Rice. He's going to take an inside rush here. You see him, once he goes to the outside, now he knows that he has the outside. So he sees that, he's delaying, and he just takes off to the outside.
Manning hit as he throws, and then Williams drops the ball over the middle. How have the big Colts been doing? Their version of the old Dallas triplets. Well, Manning tonight, good completion percentage, but for very little yardage. Williams has been their main running back, 31 yards. Harrison's caught 5, but averaging just 5.6 yards per reception.
Yeah, that's nothing. He's their big play, and they have to get him as a big playmaker.
And Keyshawn Johnson was mocking those numbers in the first half. It's an 8-yard gain by Ricky Williams to them. No stop by Simeon Rice. It's going to be 3rd down and a deuce.
Well, I know one thing that Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, wants to do is if they're playing in cover 2, where they have the 2 safeties deep, you want to run at that. So you run them out of cover 2. If they want to play 8 men up, where they have the extra linebacker up, you want to pass them out of that. So they're playing a lot of cover 2, and that's why we're seeing this run.
Colts have not converted a 3rd down tonight. This is their 6th attempt. Going deep, wide open. That's caught. Marvin Harrison, touchdown.
That was exactly what we're talking about right there. He wants to throw against that. They came in the 8-man up, so he knows that he has man-to-man on the outside. And that's what he's looking for. So that tells him he sees John Lynch come up in the box. Here's John Lynch here. Now he knows that he has man-to-man out here, so here's the guy that he wants to work to. See, he knows this, so now it's not the cover two, and he just runs right by Tim Wansley.
And we talked about the fact Brian Kelly was hurt earlier, so he's out, and Wansley filling that role. Wansley normally the nickelback. Vanderjagt point after. And Manning and Harrison have now combined for 63 career touchdown passes, tying Unitas and Berry. Pretty good company. And we have a game again. The quiet one. Marvin Harrison, along with Manning, just getting Indy back into the game. They moved down the field 73 yards in a minute 55. When we talked about touchdowns in terms of the combinations, Young to Rice, all-time at 85. Dan Marino, Mark Clayton, Kelly and Reed, and then Unitas and Berry. The all-time Colts record just tied by Manning and Harrison, each of whom has a long way to go in their careers. And this is Aaron Stecker bringing it back to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and that touchdown pass, you're going to see what. Watch Peyton Manning as he comes back here. He gives a pump, then he looks to the left to hold that safety here so that he can't get over to Marvin Harrison. And then Marvin Harrison is just man-to-man on Tim Wansley. See the pump? Then the look. The look is to hold that free safety in the middle of the field so that Harrison can do this on the other side. Poor old Wansley didn't have a chance.
Bucs run their first offensive play here in the second half. And it begins with Pittman behind an all-star block. Picks up 10 yards. See where they spot it. And if it's on the chalk, it's a first down. And it is.
Gain of 10.
How have the Bucs been doing tonight? Very efficient first half for Johnson. 189 through the air. 74 of those on the pass to McCardell. Pittman, nice average, 6.6. Key caught 3. And McCardell, of course, did all of the rest of the damage with the long touchdown reception and the fumble return.
This is where the Colt defense has to step up. I mean, if they're a better defense, and if they're going to be a defense, this is when they have to be a defense.
Right here. And it's a 3-yard gain for Pittman because the offense gets them back in the game, and then the air will come out of this team if Tampa Bay moves down the field.
Yeah, they just can't let them control the ball. I mean, they have to get a 3-and-out here on this one. Or they have to get a turnover. The defense has to help and make something happen so that they can get their offense of Peyton Manning and them back in the field.
2nd and 7 at the 33-yard line. Opening stages, 3rd quarter. Oh, what a block by Pittman, but there's a flag down. Johnson's going to slide to a hole up near the first down line, but let's see what the flag is about.
You know, Michael Pittman tonight has made some great blocks. I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to be a running back in this league, obviously you have to be able to run the ball and you have to be able to catch it. But if you can't block, you can't play because they'll take advantage of you and they will make you block or protect.
That time he upended Raheem Brock.
Offense. 2 men moving prior to the snap and failing to reset. Still 2nd down.
Illegal shift.
I think when you still look at that block, and that's worth it. Watch Michael Pittman right here on Raheem Brock. I mean, Brock is just going to tackle Brad Johnson, and boom, Pittman just takes everything out of him. Actually, he put him on his head. That's a heels over head.
Ball for naught. 2nd and 12. At the 28-yard line. 4-man rush. Pressure. Johnson throws for Johnson. No good. 3rd and long coming up.
And we talk about the defense and the Colt defense and being improved. If you're an improved defense, this is where you have to make the play. I mean, they've made a couple of good plays. They get them in this situation. Now you get them in 3rd and long. You need a play here because if you get a play here, then you can get a good punt return. Then you have a chance to get good field position.
Ball at the 28. Freeney had 13 sacks in his rookie year.
And Dwight Freeney really has to take off on this one.
3rd and 12. They block him and the pass is incomplete at the 35-yard line. So Carl Williams The intended receiver, Harper, with the coverage and knocked it down. So after the initial first down on the first play, then they get the 3 and out, and they punt.
And that's what they had to do. I mean, they kind of get the touchdown, and that can become a momentum changer, and then the defense has to keep it going to keep that momentum changing.
Brad Pyatt looks sharp thus far this season, running back kicks and punts. Tom Tupa. Liner. 43-yard kick. Fielded at the 29, and a flag is down as Pyatt comes to the outside and is tackled at the 38. Tons of laundry tonight from Johnny Greer, who, by the way, now has the longest tenure as a referee of any current referee. He has not been an official longer than any official. The guys all start in the non-ref roles and work their way up, but Johnny Greer has reffed longer than any active ref.
Number 42 of the receiving team during the return.
Detron Smith again, as Johnny Greer so signals a TV timeout in his 222nd game as an NFL ref. 21-7 Tampa. Well, the Tampa Bay Bucks all of a sudden find themselves now up by 14, not 21. Indy has the ball back. Crowd solidly behind that number 1 ranked defense as Manning throws a screen to Clark, and the rookie out of Iowa gets stripped after a gain of 6 by Nate Webster. Got him on the shoe.
Here again, and that's the thing about this Buck defense we've been talking about all night is not only their speed, but their tackling ability once they use their speed. Peyton Manning, you see in the first half, he threw mostly short passes. This is what got him the TD, and this is what they have to get back to.
No huddle, 2nd down and 4. Draw, and that's read nicely. Flag thrown again. Simeon Rice had him by the neck. Stops him for no gain.
They had a little face mask along with the neck. Sometimes those face masks go down to the neck.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 97, defense. First down.
Tis the call, Simeon Rice.
Simeon Rice is looking up and saying, no, I didn't do it. It looked like I did it, but my hand is below it. Watch Simeon Rice here. He comes in. No, I don't think he did. I mean, he went over it. He just touched that face mask, but he didn't grab that face mask.
Not at all. Good play. I mean, by Rice, he knew he was going for the mask. Got the hand below the mask. It looks that way to the official who
No
calls it.
infraction for the face mask. The runner was grabbed by the shoulder.
Whoa, now that's...
You think they looked up at the Jumbotron?
I'm just thinking the same thing, John. Absolutely. You're not supposed to do it, but they did. I mean, in effect, that's a replay. Because they played it on the board, and Dungy's thinking the same thing right now. How else would they know this?
Yeah, when the fans went like this, everyone booed when they saw this one. If the officials looked up there and changed it, the other way they could have is some other official could have seen it and come in and say, look, he didn't have to face mask.
Well, that is clearly the call. You can't look at the board, and Dungy now wants to know what happened, and Johnny Greer is saying, look, one official overruled the other. The guy who thought he saw the face mask was overruled by somebody who said I had a better angle. He didn't grab it.
Yeah, but you wonder if that better angle was the Jumbotron. And the reaction of the crowd, because that better angle and that other call did come out a little later.
If it was against the rules. You can't do that. 3rd down and 4 from the 33-yard line. Another flag. We'll just call, I'll tell you what, I'll just call it when there's no flag. I'll just say no flag from now on. We'll play when there's no flag.
Prior to the snap, ball start, number 78, offense. Still 3rd down.
Tarek Glenn.
And Tarek Glenn says that he didn't move, but this is where it gets tough. I mean, you have the combination of a speed rusher and Simeon Rice. You have a good defense in this whole Buck defense, and then you have this crowd. And I think Tarek Glenn is right. I mean, you want to get off on the ball. You can't be late. Here he is right here. They're saying that he moved before the ball snapped. The ball snapped right now. It looks like to me he moves right on the snap. And if you don't move right on the snap, you're not going to block Simeon Rice.
He was the first to move, and so the look of it may have compelled the official to throw the flag. 3rd down and 9. Here's a screen. Here's Williams, and he gets tackled at the 30-yard line by Anthony McFarland, and it's 4th down.
Now, this is the thing. Anthony McFarland down there sapped the whole group. They play screens as well as anyone, and they knew that they had to because the Colts love the screen. If they had Edgerrin James, that's a big, big part of their game. But sometimes you wonder with Peyton Manning and on 3rd down and 7 or 8, why not just drop back and throw the ball? I mean, throw it up there 10 yards. He can do that. Marvin Harrison can do that.
Hunter Smith, nearly blocked. Todd Yoder almost blocked it, and then it turns out to be a great punt as it rolls all the way to the 15-yard line.
Down at the 15.
Double nickel, 55 yards for Smith. 8:42 in the 3rd. 14-point lead for the Champs. Tampa Bay on top by 14 with 8:42 remaining in the 3rd. And the Buccaneers at their own 15-yard line. The Bucs coming in 2 wins, 1 loss. At 3-1, they'd still be in 2nd place in the NFC South, behind John Fox's Carolina Panthers, now 4-0. And for Indy, they remain on top. They got a break yesterday. As you look at Edgerrin James with a back injury, he's out. They got a break yesterday when Tennessee lost to New England. So James misses his 2nd game in a row. And here's Pittman, and he runs right in to number 53, Marcus Washington, and a little bit more mic'd up from Keyshawn Johnson.
I was open on the basic, actually.
In the beginning.
Yeah. But I couldn't. 94 dropped out, so I came into the hole. Yeah, that's why. I came into the hole.
Listen to me. You got to take a little criticism. Take a deep breath. Don't get sloppy on me.
Okay.
On the basic backside fingers.
I love that.
I don't think Keyshawn took a deep breath today. I was watching John Gruden say take a deep breath, and I think Keyshawn just said okay, but I don't think he took a deep breath.
Tonight's game is brought to you
Roman
by
Oben, the left tackle for the Buccaneers, slow to get up, has to come out for at least a play. You know, you always, you see these sideline things, and you're always wondering what's going on. I mean, that's beautiful. All right. Take some criticism. You have to take some criticism once in a while. Take a deep breath.
Well, that first thing he was talking about was that cover 2. He's talking about 94, who's Rob Morris, the middle linebacker. And on that cover 2, they get him deep. So that hole that Keyshawn Johnson was talking about is that hole in front of Rob Morris when he runs deep. And they did see him, and they did have him there, and they have hit him there so far.
Kerry Jenkins now comes in to replace Oben, at least for one play. 2nd and 11 now for Tampa Bay at the 14-yard line. Here they come. Good protection. Gets the pass away. Pittman has the 1st down and a lot more up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, sometimes you just feel that Brad Johnson is inviting them to blitz. They came on the blitz. He threw it out there to Pittman on the same side of the blitz. You know, you heard all that audibling going on, everyone talking here. Here comes the blitz from this side. Brad Johnson is looking right to that side, and he hits Michael Pittman on the slant. See him, he starts up a couple steps on Nick Harper. He goes right to the inside. The blitz, the side of the blitz is the side Brad Johnson threw it to.
Picks up 20, picks up the 1st down, and now Johnson rolling right, throwing on the run, hits his namesake up to the 48, and another Tampa Bay 1st down, and they're rolling again.
We were talking to John Gruden last night. He said that, he likes that quarterback boot, that naked boot. He said, I just can't do it with Brad Johnson. I said, well, what do you do? And he said, well, we just do it anyway. And on that play, he did. That was a bootleg. Brad Johnson is bootlegging to his right. You see him bootlegging out here. Keyshawn Johnson running a crossing pattern. Brad Johnson just wait until he gets open. That wasn't a good throw. He threw it a little behind him. One thing about Keyshawn Johnson, we always talk about he's a big target, he's a tough guy, he's a good blocker, but he also can catch those balls behind him as well as in front of him.
Absolutely. Lives over the middle. Play clock goes all the way down. In fact, there's no play. You saw it tick to 0 before the snap.
Prior to the snap, delay, offense.
We saw where Roman Oben had gone out of the game, and it was just a play. He's back in there now at left tackle. And that's important because if the Colts are going to get any pressure without a blitz, I think it has to come from Dwight Freeney. I mean, if they have a pass rusher, you say, who's their best pass rusher? It's Dwight Freeney, and he's the guy that plays on the left tackle.
First and 15 up at the 43. Hurdle move. Pittman gets to midfield, and let's check in with Lisa G.
Al, at the end of the first half, you saw Colts linebacker Jim Nelson get carted off the field. Word from Indianapolis is he has a fractured left collarbone, and he will not return to tonight's game.
Yeah, we were wondering what that was because he was reaching for his Adam's apple area, and a lot of times that's where you'll go when you have that injury.
And it was right there in that collarbone area, too. And what they did is they kept him on the field for a long time just to check out and just make sure that that's exactly what it was.
2nd and 7 off the fake on the roll. The pass is incomplete. That was Marcus Washington getting in there and perhaps deflecting it before it got to the hands of Ken Dilger. So Tony Dungy coming home, 2nd year at Indianapolis after 6 seasons here. Dungy righted the ship here in Tampa Bay. Took a team that had been kind of the laughing stock of the league, made them very respectable, and then just couldn't get them to that last level. And in fact, it was kind of an unceremonious departure. Not that the Glazer family could really make it any cleaner than it was. They actually tried to go out and get Bill Parcells, and Bill was ready to. He was ready to come.
Yeah, it wasn't very clean because they fired Tony and they didn't have someone in mind. They were lucky to get John Gruden.
3rd and 7. They paid a dear price for him. As Pittman tries to get the first down and is close and appears to have it. Excuse me, it's Thomas Jones. Thomas Jones out of the backfield. But Tony Dungy will not be forgotten here. Had a lot to do with what happened last year, even though he wasn't here. And here's what Warren Sapp said about him.
I liken it to when Tony got here, it was a dirty kitchen, a filthy kitchen. I mean, nobody would eat from this kitchen. And Tony got in there and cleaned everything up, got everything arranged, put the pots where the pots, the plates where the plates, everything arranged, and started to cook in this kitchen. And then it went from a nasty kitchen to a place where people would come eat. Then it went from a place where people would come eat to the favorite spot of everybody.
Good way to describe it. You saw the consternation on Tony's face because Tampa got up to the line and Indianapolis didn't have the right people in. And they have to take a timeout. All right, so you heard what Sapp had to say about Tony. Now, here's Sapp on Gruden.
John comes in and looks in his kitchen like, oh, nice kitchen. Oh, there's a cake in that oven. Pulls it out after it's done, put the icing on it, got it all nice and decorated, put the candles on it, and we lit it. And that's all I liken it to. The ingredients, the method, the system, the foundation was all laid by Tony. But John came in and put the icing and everything and dressed it up and made it look beautiful for the world to see. And a championship is what we got out of it.
Leads the league in analogies and metaphors, doesn't he?
Right, and that's pretty good, but I still say that they were lucky to get John Gruden. That, when they fired Tony Dungy, they thought they had Bill Parcells, and then they didn't have Bill Parcells, then they didn't have anyone.
And they almost thought they had Mariucci, and then they thought they had Gruden before they had Gruden. 1st and 10 at the 42. And that's caught by Allstott, and Mike Allstott. Crowd just loves it. And that's about how many guys it takes to bring him down. And a flag comes in at the end. 17 yards.
That's what the old A train does. I mean, they love him in that short yardage situation. 11, John Gruden was saying, I hope we have Mike Allstott tonight because he can control the game, he can seal the deal, he can put it away for you. You get in these type of situations in the second half, and you love to get the ball in his hands. Just hope he doesn't fumble.
Another bootleg.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 72 of the offense. The first down was made. We'll penalize them there. First down.
So it's after the play. Roman Oben, who missed a couple of plays when he came out, and now is back in and makes his presence known.
You know, sometimes you're an offensive lineman like Roman Oben. He starts on the left side. That ball was thrown on the right. And you run all the way down there, and you get so excited you got there, and you see a guy like All start running, guys falling all over the place, and you want to get a shot in on something and help celebrating, and you just take a late shot. But if you're going to run that far, like I said, Roman Oben was a left tackle. He had to run all the way across the field. If you're going to run that far and you're going to watch this happen, you want to get in on some of that action. This is just too good to let go.
That was at the very end, and then Pittman on a 1st and 20 takes it down to the 32-yard line.
You know, isn't it something the game that Michael Pittman's playing tonight, not only running the quickness but the blocking, and then he was in the hospital all day yesterday, all night last night, got out this morning. That's John Gruden yesterday what he had, and he said, I don't know, it's some kind of virus or something. Whatever they gave him in the hospital isn't a bad thing. You want to know where you sign up to get some of that stuff.
I was just thinking the same thing.
This guy's full of juice tonight.
IVs for sale. 2nd and 2 from the 32. Whoa! Huge hole. Inside the 20. Finally a roll down to 15. So this drive for Tampa Bay started at its own 15. You can see Pittman just kind of leaning back again after a 17-yard carry.
You get a good lead block there by Mike Allstott, and he gets a good block by his left tackle. We're talking about Roman Oben. Watch him. He blocks down. That creates a hole. Michael Pittman could start out and then bounce out to the left side, and then he has moves on moves when he gets downfield. See 72, the job that he does, and then that allows Michael Pittman to get to the outside.
Doss's helmet knocked off. Pittman gets a blow now, and Stecker is the running back. They moved 70 yards on this drive. And it's back to 69 now, loss of 1 to the 16-yard line. Stopped there by Marcus Washington.
So we were talking about Michael Pittman and being in the hospital, and then he didn't know about Allstott. He was at practice yesterday, but didn't practice. He practiced Saturday and didn't practice. And then this morning, he flies to Pittsburgh to see a doctor about a bad neck. And you think there's no way Mike Allstott is going to play. I mean, this morning he's in Pittsburgh, and then tonight he's playing darn near the whole game. So whatever happened in Pittsburgh must have been a good report, I'd say.
It had to be great because Gruden was seriously concerned yesterday, not just for a guy being out for a week or two. Flag again on a pass intended for Yoder. Another guy missing from Tampa Bay's lineup is Joe Juravicius with a knee injury, but they hope to have him back in a couple of weeks. And we talked about the middle linebacker Shelton Quarles with a broken forearm earlier against Tampa again.
You know, Joe Juravicius has a torn MCL, and I watched him at practice. I mean, he didn't practice. He was just walking around, and I have no idea how he's going to be back in a week or two.
Number 80. Offense. Still second down.
Offensive. Yoder.
Todd Yoder was the guy that he threw it to. So you say, how did he get open? There's Joe Juravicius there, and I was just watching him limp. I mean, he's not even to a jogging or running stage yet. So, you know, I think that you're thinking that he's going to be back in the next week or two, or a little generous. There's Shelton Quarles. Now, I'm going to say he may play next week. Monty Kiffin said he thinks it'll be 2 weeks for Shelton Quarles.
2nd and 21. 15-yard line. The pass is complete. And being tossed around was Reggie Barlow. Walt Harris hit him.
And this Colts defense is just worn out. They just can't get any pressure at all on Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson's just sitting back there. This is out, and you see what happens. They're just wide open. But Brad Johnson, watch the time that he has. The time that he has, then he finds the lanes, and he is going to get the ball to someone. And I don't know if this is very good pass protection by Tampa Bay or a tired pass-rushing Colt defense.
Might be a tired defense. They've been on the field for 7 minutes, and then they have to take another timeout.
Yeah, they just added confusion to tired.
And that's the second defensive timeout that the Colts have had to take. It was 21-0 Tampa at the half. Indianapolis moved down the field to score in their first possession of the second half, but now the Bucs trying to culminate a long drive here, up by 14, third down and 10 from the 15 as Brad Johnson goes to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown by McCardell, his third touchdown of the night.
McCardell, he's going to start up, make a little move to the inside, and then back to the outside, and Brad Johnson puts the ball there perfectly. We're talking about this Colt defense being worn down. There's no pressure at all on Brad Johnson. Either McCardell just catches that ball and keeps his feet right in bounds.
First 3-touchdown game of his career, which started in 1991. In fact, McCardell's been around so long, he was drafted in the 12th round. Now there are only 7. What a night for 87. 28-7, Tampa Bay. 28-7, the Buccaneers on top after they march 85 yards. McCardell scores the touchdown. Brad Pyatt, tackle left of the 35. Good sure tackling tonight by the coverage unit for the Bucs. That's on Corey Ivy.
Just sing, talk, rap, or don't play an instrument. That's my theory.
Again, John, right on top of it. I never quite thought of it in those terms. You're right. This is caught by Marcus Pollard, and the big tight end takes it all the way to the 45-yard line. And Indianapolis running up, going with the no huddle.
Well, when the Buck defense plays soft, they're going to play a loose cover 2. When you play a loose cover 2, both those safeties deep, they're going to give you that play in the middle that the Colts just took.
First and 10 now at the 44-yard line. Oh, baby. Greg Spires takes a hold of Dominique Rhodes. And Rhodes goes in reverse.
That's where, we talk about these guys having set speed. It's not only linebacker speed and defensive back speed, but it's defensive line speed. I mean, you got Spires on one end, and you have Simeon Rice on the other end that are darn near as fast as linebackers.
Second and 15, and they do not get the playoff. End of the quarter. End of 3. Tampa Bay 28. Indianapolis 7, and Monday Night Football resumes after this message from our ABC stations. On the network, your late local news follows the game on ESPN at Sports Center. As we start the fourth quarter in Tampa. Now Michael's John Madden, Lisa Guerrero, 28-7. Buccaneers on top. 3 touchdowns tonight for Keenan McCardell. And now Indianapolis trying to mount a drive. Second and 15 from the Tampa Bay 49-yard line. Flag is thrown, and that is caught by Marvin Harrison.
Manning's pass is complete to Harrison.
Penalty call here.
That part of the Colt offense is there. I mean, the Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison, but I think, and Tony Dungy told Lisa at halftime that they really don't miss Edgerrin James. I think they miss Edgerrin James, or the threat of Edgerrin James, big time. And I think that,
offside, 94, defense, lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. Third down.
At some point you have to wonder what it is. I mean, he has a sore back, and he practiced on Friday, and then it was sore on Saturday. And you wonder if it's more than just a sore back. And I know that he doesn't want to play while he's hurt. He wants to get well and then come back again. But this team offensively, I mean, he's a big part of it, because real or imagine, they don't have the threat of the run, and that kind of makes them one-dimensional anyway.
Yeah, I think Dungy probably talking about, not using excuses, but in effect, how do you not miss somebody like that? And it's Dallas Clark making the catch on a 3rd and 3 and pulling off a Jeremy Shockey imitation as he takes it to the 25-yard line. First down.
That was interesting. Marvin Harrison always lines up on the right side. And he'll either be in the right side split out or the right side of the slot. That time he lines up over on the left side. It looked like they had some play. Here's Marvin Harrison out here. And again, you're going to see him come in motion, and he's going to run a crossing pattern right there. And it looks like after a while he is wide open, but he wasn't even looking back.
After that 11-yard gain, it's dumped off over the middle of Ricky Williams. And he is close to a first down as he is stopped at the 17-yard line by Ronnie Lott's son, Ryan Neese.
Well, and you talk about, again, that cover two, that too deep. When they play soft, you're going to have that pass about 8 or 10 yards in the middle of the field.
It's a first down from the 15. Fakes to Harrison, goes the other way, caught by Reggie Wayne. Good move inside the 5. First and goal at the 3. Tackled by Ronde Barber.
And we talked about the Colt defense kind of getting worn down, not getting much of a pass rush. I kind of feel a little that way about this Buccaneer defense, too, that maybe this heat has gotten to them, too, because they look like they're a little worn down.
Humid night. Had a light shower at the start of the game. No rain since, because even the coaches are lathered up pretty good. First and goal at the 3.
Why then is he wearing a jacket, you wonder?
Good question. Through the middle. Williams. No signal yet. Still none. Just outside the goal line.
Brought down by Nate Webster.
Second down and goal.
Second and goal.
This is where they usually put in James Mungro. You know, you talk about short yardage runner, who's their best, and they figure, you know, without Edgerrin James, that it's Mungro.
It's Detron Smith and Ricky Williams. And it's Williams for the touchdown. Flag down, though.
Ricky Williams on the
Thrown
carry.
at the line of scrimmage.
Peyton Manning is saying that it's against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Offside. Defense. Line up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. The touchdown is good.
So the Colts very quickly go down the field on a drive that started at their own 25-yard line. 75 yards they go for the score with 12 minutes and 1 second left in the 4th. And now Mike Vanderjagt for the point after. Back-to-back touchdown drives.
Extra point, Vanderjagt.
For the Indianapolis Colts, but in between, Tampa picked up one of their own, and it's 28-14 Tampa Bay. Raymond James Stadium in Tampa opened in 1998. Very close to the site of the old Tampa Stadium. And now the Colts line up as if they're going to onside kick it. And Tampa Bay takes a timeout. So the Colts, with a maneuver you see a lot, everybody comes to one side of the ball. And Tampa Bay not prepared to defend it, though it might have been a fake.
Well, the thing is they did make an adjustment. I mean, they all came over here, but the only thing is they didn't have their hands team in there. I mean, they had, you know, like offensive linemen, tight ends, those kinds of guys. So I think they're probably talking right now that you know, forget about the kickoff return. Let's get our onside prevent team or our hands team in there.
I think they may have faked their way into a Tampa timeout. I mean, I'd be surprised if that's something they would have tried here. You still have 12 minutes left in the game. Yeah,
they don't need it. But I bet it's something that now Tampa Bay, in fact, I think Keyshawn Johnson's in there. They do have their hands team in there. So at least it puts the Bucs in an onside prevent rather than a kick return.
They've got the tight end Dilger in there. They've got Pittman in there.
Well, they have 10 guys up and then just one guy deep. So I would expect that the Colts would just kick the ball deep.
Only man who's deep is Carl Williams. And Derek Brooks in here.
And Carl Williams is at the 15-yard line, too. But they have 10 guys right up in this area.
Well, that's what they had in mind the first time as well, I bet. Williams from the 10. Out of bounds at the 24. So what's been being put in tonight? All you baseball fans, just for you. 7-0 on that pass to Keenan McCardell, 74 yards. Then Reggie Doss had intercepted a pass, fumbled. McCardell picked it up and scored. Reggie Barlow scores to make it 21-0 on a Johnson pass. Indy scores on its first possession in the second half, but back comes Johnson to McCardell. McCardell with a hat trick tonight. And you saw Ricky Williams just take it in to make it 28-14. And there's an injured Buck, and that's Michael Pittman. So they put Pittman in on the hands.
Buccaneers, number 32, Michael Pittman.
And of course, Pittman with flu-like symptoms in the hospital the last couple of days, now getting up. Monday Night Football coming to you from Tampa, Florida, home of the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers, trying to get to the 3-1 mark in the NFC South. And Warren set and the defense wrestling. Ray Johnson and the offense going to work here, and they give the ball to Stecker. Makes his way for a gain of 7, taken down by the tackle Larry Triplett.
By number 75,
Pittman comes back into the game.
Gain of 6.
Look at the arms on him. I don't know that I've ever seen a running back that had bigger arms than Michael Pittman. I mean, you talk about this guy I mean, Hulk Hogan is here. Michael Pittman, I will say this, has bigger guns than the Hulkster.
Pittman is 6 feet, 218. There's the Hulk.
Yeah, who do you think has bigger arms, the Hulkster or Pittman?
Proportionately Pittman.
No, I take Pittman, period.
Period?
Put a tape around it. I take Pittman.
Gross inches. 2nd and 5. And that's a gain of 6 up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, when you have arms that big, you can name them. Now, you talk about big arms. There's big arms.
The diaper dandy himself, Dick Vitale.
You got a phone call. You had a football game. You don't get a phone call.
His wife Lorraine. Dick lives in this area, mainly at the airport.
Who do you think he's talking to, and what do you think he's talking about?
Probably LeBron James.
Or maybe himself being on TV.
Right, absolutely. From the 35 on first down. Gain of 6 is Pittman.
Michael Pittman on the carry.
And re-wrestles the ball away from Doss. And it'll be 2nd down and 4.
You know what they do? That's that old thing when they fake a reverse to the side that they're running to. And what that does is that holds the defensive end on that side. Yeah, because he has to keep containment. And then what you try and do is run inside him. But watch the reversal come to this side. You see the fake of the reverse? And then by that holds that outside guy out there, and then you can run inside. And watch Ken Dilger right here. That helps too. I mean, he gets one block, and then he comes up and gets another one.
2nd and 4. You know, Pittman, as he picks up the first down, he's having one of those games where, you know, he's a part of the game, but with all the fireworks tonight and the fumble returns and the long passes and McCardell, he's over 100 yards. That's 106 yards for Michael Pittman.
You know, I found out, you know, in my career, just, you know, coaching and doing this, the guys, when they come out of the hospital, if they're sick or something, they come out and they play, and a lot of times they play a lot better. I mean, you know, whether it's they can't concentrate on other things or they have to concentrate on playing or getting well and getting out on the field, but this happens more often than not.
He went to Lourdes. 1st and 10 from the 47. Stecker across the 50 to the 49. That's a gain of about 3.
I used to have a player, Dave Casper, who used to believe that he had to be sick and not play well. I mean, be sick so he could play well.
Meanwhile, there is Allstott, and we talked about Allstott with that neck strain, what was called a strain. Went to a specialist in Pittsburgh today, but you know, when he puts his thumb up there, When Gruden was talking to us yesterday, there was more than mild concern about the condition because they couldn't figure out what the problem was with him.
And I don't think it was only concern whether he could play tonight or not.
Second and 7. Stecker again to the 48-yard line, and now they're playing clock ball.
And this is what Brad Johnson says that John Gruden does so well is play clock ball. You know, slow everything down, get to the running game, you know, seal the deal, as he said, that John Gruden can seal the deal. And then John Gruden says, that's what I like about Mike Allstott. He can seal the deal. He's run 6 straight runs here.
And they'll take the clock all the way down.
Doesn't look like Allstott's going to be sealing this deal, though.
No closer role for him tonight. Jameel Cook is the back. Johnson stepping up, tries to run for the first down and can't. Stopped by Marcus Washington at the 44-yard line, and now Tupa will come in to try to pooch it. It's a little bit more than a pooch from this angle. It's kind of a Dalmatian, I guess.
Well, it's the old coffin corner thing.
Need to receive number 84.
Yeah, he's going to directional kick this one, or maybe just put one of those things up in the air that just stop on the 9-yard line.
It's funny, like he did before.
Yeah, the old Phil Mickelson wedge shot.
Soft and wafted, and fair caught at the 15-yard line by Brad Pyatt. Hockey season starting this week. Here's a football hat trick. Keenan McCardell. 1-2-3. 28-14 Tampa. Derek Brooks rolling across the skyscraper. The Lombardi Trophy admired by John Lynch. Lawrence Sapp. That trophy again. Rondé Barber. Great projection system. The key man. And back we come here now, 28-14 and 1st and 10 Indianapolis at its own 16-yard line. Manning hit as he throws, flagged down again. Ricky Williams up to the 18-yard line. The game all night with the flags being played in fits and starts. Shartrick Darby was able to get to Manning as he threw, and the penalty is on Indianapolis.
Holding, 64, offense, still first down.
Almost a sack, and that brings us to this point. Tampa Bay 63 straight games with a sack, 3rd longest streak in the history of the league. And when you do the math on that, that is the equivalent of almost 4 whole seasons. 1st and 18. And number 18, you know, the minute you bring it up, that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Ellis Wims said, let's make it 4 straight seasons.
All right, you're wondering, you think, are they going to get through this game and not keep that streak up? They need it, but I mean, it's not only a consecutive streak, you know, a sack thing, but they need it in this game right now. I mean, you have to dominate, you have to take off, and you have to do something here. And watch Wims. He's right here at the left end. He's going to beat Adam Meadows. But he starts down there low, just takes that outside shoulder, slaps, and then comes right around that outside shoulder.
2nd and 23 now from the 3. Ricky Williams provides some space. Gets out to the 10-yard line.
Little fight down there.
Yeah.
I think the Colts need more than space now. I mean, they need a quick strike. They can't be messing around with little short passes and screens and stuff. They have to get the ball up the field and get first down. That's a heck of a lot easier said than done, though, isn't it? If they could do that, they would have been doing it all night. And this defense, for the most part, has really smothered them.
5.5 to play. 3rd and long. A near sack again. A Rodney Duck. There's your interception by Rondé Barber. So a sack and an interception on this drive, and a touchdown touchdown. Their NFL record with 45 consecutive games with a sack and an interception. So it was just a matter of time.
And that seals the deal. He's trying to go to Marvin Harrison. The Bucs are just playing a soft defense. Rodney Barber, the corner, is playing the slot corner. He just plays off. He reads Peyton Manning and just picks that thing off. As I say, takes it to the house.
Here's Dramatica now for the point after. 29-yard kick return. And the Buccaneers are back up again by 21 as they were at the half.
These fans love their Bucs and they love their defense, don't they?
Well, the sack record, they're chasing that. They extend that streak to 64. I mentioned a sack and a takeaway is what the record is that they already hold and have extended. A sack and a takeaway in each game. They've had two tonight. One was the fumble return by McCardell. The other, Barber's interception return. So both of those turnovers have resulted in Tampa touchdowns. Hyatt from the 2-yard line, and Brad Hyatt cuts it back, gets by Dramatica, now being chased from behind, and the last man to get him gets him at the 11-yard line, and then the ball is loose, but the official comes in and said the end of the play. Jermaine Phillips was the last guy to have a chance to catch him, and he did. Well.
And that is a heck of an effort by Phillips. Because Hyatt looks like he's gone. And watch him here. Here's the wedge formed right here. So you want to get in behind the wedge, straight up the field, get to your wedge. Then when you break through the wedge, then you start making your moves. He makes a great move there. Now you just run straight to the end zone. Watch, he gets caught right there. Jermaine Phillips not only caught up with him, made the tackle to win for the strip, and almost got the strip.
90-yard return from 2 yards deep to the 12-yard line. And then Manning throws, but it's low. Receiver James Munro. There's Pyatt, Northern Colorado rookie.
Yeah, one of the things the Colts wanted to do is not be one-dimensional, and the way you cannot be not one-dimensional is being able to run the ball, and they haven't been able to do that, but you can't get behind that far either. So when they got so far behind, then you can't be patient anymore. That's the other thing they want to do is patient. You can't be patient because you're fighting an uphill battle.
One of the things that Dungy feared, he told us last night, we just can't get overwhelmed at the beginning, and that's what happened to him tonight. 2nd and 10. Munro to the 9-yard line, stopped there by Darby.
Because when you do get overwhelmed and then you get behind and then you become one-dimensional and then you start to force things and then you play right into their hands, and then Rodney Barber's intercepting one and taking it in for a touchdown.
And then you're one-dimensional without Edger and James.
Yeah, they need Edger and James back, but they still need a little help on defense. They don't look like championship defense to me.
3rd down 7 from the 9-yard line as Manning throws, caught, and just short of the first is Marvin Harrison. And naturally they'll have to go for it and see where they spotted Wansley and Lynch in on the tackle. Maybe a first down. Let's see. It's inside the 3. And they will bring it out.
Yeah, you were talking to John Gruden about what time he gets up, and he's going to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever, this morning, and he goes to work on his next opponent in the morning, and then in the afternoon he's working on the Colts, and then he said, well, do you ever take a nap? And he looks at you like, no, I don't take naps. Never even a short one? He said, he goes, no.
I can't believe, I mean, on Monday, he got up in the 3s, 3:30 or so this morning. went in and he worked on next week's game plan. They go to Washington next week. Indianapolis goes home. They play Carolina. Unbeaten Carolina next week. So it's 4th down and inches now at the 2-yard line. Under 4 minutes to play. Clock rolling again after the measurement.